Welcome to my daddy's live show. Technically speaking, live. It is the best show ever, in my opinion.
That is absolutely right, Gigi. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Technically speaking, live, which is a Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. for my fam down in Australia. Welcome back to a 100% corona-free zone. And I can say that with certainty. And the reason is because Stats is not here today. He's in the chat. He's moderating, as a matter of fact. I'm going to add another moderator real quick, like Mr. Josh Smith is going to be a moderator. So you're going to notice a lot of things that's happening on the channel right now. Different setup that you see on the screen. You can see that right here. Wait. Here, right in this general vicinity, you have the live stream chat that's going on in there. No, you cannot boot another moderator. Thank you very much. And then at the very tippy tip top, which you can't see, but I'm going to point up there, right above the chat, you're going to see, that's right, we have 5 people concurrently watching the show. Now we have 7. Holy cow. So I'm making some changes when it comes to the show, trying to add a little Flava Flav. I am very fancy. Thank you so much. And
excellent point, Dad.
Thank you, Gigi. Again, welcome to the Excellent Point Show, evidently. Again, I am 100% coronavirus free, and the reason is I did not allow Stats in the studio. Stats recently went on vacation. He went to New Orleans, and he very nicely said, hey, you know, I've been in and out of like 5 airports or something like that in the last 6 days or something he was lying about, and said, you know, out of abundance of caution, do you want me to stay away? And I said, yes, straight up. He's in the chat. You can ask him. I straight up was like, nope, don't come over. Nope. You are quarantined. You are out just for this week. I'm not going to go with the full 14-day ban. I think I'm only going to do 7. So there was also some potential interest in having some other folks that were going to be in the studio. And I said, no, locking it down. This is a Corona-free zone. Only Corona allowed in this house is Corona beer. No, maybe. It'll work with it. Stay 7 feet from somebody. Practice your social distancing. Social distancing, folks. Sorry, I needed a drink. I am being very fancy. Thank you very much. So again, the show's going to look a little bit different. I have a little more fanciness for you when we start to talk about some of the different topics that we have going on. I would normally kick it out to Stats, how's things going? But let me tell you, I'm going to make this up. Stats is in the chat. We can actually verify it. He went to Nolans, had a ton of beignets, probably had some wine, walked around, took a lot of historical stuff in, did not currently catch the corona. I don't believe so. Stats, I need you to validate that you are, in fact, corona-free. At some point, he'll jump in the chat after he catches up. Pretty interesting show today. We have a live product review. This is a little a DVOOM little Bluetooth speaker with a screen on it. So we're going to do a live product review. They sent it over to me and they wanted to give it a shot. And then we're going to talk about, I know everybody's talking about coronavirus, but I have some interesting takes on the coronavirus. Just in general, interesting takes about how it impacts tech a lot, but tech in a variety of different ways. It's going to be grounded a lot in my opinion in terms of what I've seen. I'm not going to make up crazy statistics. If I don't know a statistic about it, I'm not going to make it up. And then I also want to talk about, let's see, what do I got? The P40 from Huawei, as well as the OnePlus 8 is looking great. That rhymed in a time. OnePlus 8's looking great in 5G, as well as the Google Pixel 4a and all the leaks. We're getting into that rumor season, which is fantastic. Photoshop has a camera that nobody cares about. But I really think what's going to dominate the majority of the show is probably all this Corona talk. So be prepared, be ready. Miss Sheila, you're late. You didn't really miss much. Stats is currently in a quarantine. I am not allowing him in the studio because I don't need him to make me sick, period. Yes, true story. Okay, let's do a really quick live product review because it's cool. So this company reached out to me. I do believe Thunder Dan, I'm gonna refer to him as Thunder Dan, who has another live show. Stats, I'm gonna make you moderate or join the show and moderate from this. If you could reach out to Dan Gage on Twitter, Gage, and link his YouTube channel in here. He actually did a review on this as a dedicated video. I didn't do that mostly because it just time-wise, it's just not working out. But this little thingy is a Bluetooth speaker. Let me actually get the box and stuff. What I thought was the most interesting, it was a retro pixel art portable speaker. So this little thing is 16 million RGB color display, smart alarm and sleep aid, social media notification, daily tools, which I didn't know what that meant at the time, a DJ mixer, which I still haven't figured out, has a companion mobile app, which I can talk about, has a 3,000 milliamp battery, 8 hours of playtime, and it comes with like this super interesting like little case. So this case, it comes in looks like this. It's like the most interesting little thing. I'll be honest, when they first reached out to me, they're like, hey, would you review this? I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, I know I don't want to do a dedicated video of it because I didn't think it was going to be that cool. But now that I've actually had a chance to mess with this thing for a little while, it is really dope. It is really dope. Now I'm going to throw a little bit of razzle dazzle on you really quick because I want to show you this thing. This is the razzle dazzle. I hope it works. I don't think it's working. Cool. Maybe it's working. Oh, I think it's working. Hopefully you can see this in the live chat. I actually just pulled this up on Amazon. This thing right here is $79.90. You can get it in a blue and black and all these different colors. I have the white one with a little blue speaker on the top. Hopefully this is working. I don't actually know if it's working. Hopefully you guys can see this. No, nope, certainly can't see. This is awesome. I'm going to switch back really quick. And this is going to show my introduction again because I'm totally an amateur and I did not set everything up the way that I was supposed to because I'm total amateur hour. You'd think I run a tech show or something. But anyway, I was going to show you the razzle dazzle, which clearly did not work. Was the fact that you can get this on Amazon for just a little less than $80. Let me turn it on really quick. It's loud. It's like Okay, so it's pairing to my phone right now, and I have the volume all the way down. And so you can see the time. It's actually really quite cool. My kids absolutely love this. You can go through it. It has like a retro keyboard type feel. You can play games. You can turn the volume up and down. So I'm turning the volume up right now because I'm going to go through it. It has a ton of different games that you can play. You have the ability to do art on it. So art. Oh, look at that. I'll be honest, I have no idea how it picked up that music. It's picking. Oh, it's playing my show. Look at that. Hey, look at that. Again, so it Bluetooth and connected. Right now you can see that this is the actual weather on it. This thing has a ton of features when it comes to its ability, and it gets ridiculously loud. So I pulled up a bit of music. Let me turn this on. This is something called Mass Hysteria. So I have the volume all the way up. So long story short is this thing gets exceptionally loud. It'll also scare the death out of you in the middle of the night. So everything is written in not the greatest English, and I did not know like what the buttons and everything did. So I straight up just, let me turn this thing off before it goes absolutely bananas. Okay, there we go. Turn it off. So I didn't exactly know how to set an alarm, and so I managed to accidentally set an alarm, and then I managed to accidentally not figure out a way how to not turn it off. I also managed to figure out how to not only not turn it off to where it didn't go off, but then it went off at midnight. And I had no idea what it was because I had packed it away in the box. And so it was packed away, all packaged back up because I was going to do a live unboxing on air, packaged it all up. And then I just kind of like shoved it in a corner. And all of a sudden I have like this random noise at midnight going off, and I have no idea what it is. And so my wife was like, "What is that?" And I was like, I don't know. She goes, "It's your alarm." So I immediately pick up my phone, and it goes, "No, it's not my alarm on my phone because that's my alarm clock." And I have legit no idea how to turn the thing off. I got so frustrated. I like shoved it in the hamper. I shoved it away and tried to cover it with clothing just to make it stop. And I literally put it in my closet just to try to get the battery to die out so I could just get sleep. Managed somehow to turn it off, and then did it again the very next night. So I finally read the instructions, which I probably should have done first. But the point of all of that long story and diatribe was it gets great battery life. So if it's a Bluetooth speaker that gets really loud, the kids love it. It can play games. You can draw art. You can put a lot of different customized and things like that on it. It is really cool for $80. So you get a lot of cool little features with this, and it just, I got to be honest with you, it's probably going to go up as like a Nicky Knack thing behind me over here. But if it's like in a pinch, if I don't know if one day if I ever were to get an office or something like that, I would probably put something like this in, because in a pinch, it is a great little Bluetooth speaker. It gets loud. I guess if I wanted to play like Tetris, because I did play Tetris on this, you could do that. It's like a little cool conversational piece. It USB-C charge, which was really cool. Very, very forward thinking of them. It does have the ability to take a micro SD, but yeah, all in all, I thought it was a cool little doohickey. Again, $80 on Amazon. So go out and check it out. Let's see if I can drop a link in the. Let me just drop this link. This is an affiliate link. No, it's not. Not an affiliate link. Just kidding. LOL. Okay. That is the link if you want to check it out. Again, I think it's great. I think it's great for kids. I think it is a wonderful thing for kids. It's like a very cool old retro looking type thing for people my age as well, which is really, really cool. So, all right, I'm going to go out and check the comments, and holy comments. Okay. The mayor's here. Thank you so much. Miss Sheila, you didn't miss much. Miss Kathleen, thank you. Welcome to the show. Stats and Josh are doing a wonderful job in terms of moderation. Do you think that because more people will be working from home that there will be 1 million or more people online and maybe crash the internet? I'm actually going to talk about that in a little bit. COVID-19 comes up at least 3 times, 8 to 5. Yep. Mr. Eroot, I agree with you. Yes, it's English Dan YouTube. We're at English Dan YT. He actually has a live show with someone else that starts in like 17 minutes. But stay here. Totally stay here and watch the show. I wouldn't worry about crashing the internet. There are a lot of peak moments on the internet with high users. Interesting. If you're in the computer, you can just copy the whole URL and paste it here, hanging out. Okay, and then mine. So yeah, ultimately I want to get into this coronavirus thing. So Richard, you bring up a good point. Is it going to crash the internet? I agree with Larry. I don't think it's going to crash the internet, but here's what I think it can do. Now, it's literally ruining everything, not to mention people's lives. People are dying. People are very sick. Let's take that particular piece and let's move it over to the side for a little bit, because there is the health and human aspect of things that I'm not trying to just gloss over, but there's some other things that this is doing that allows us to really kind of test some of the different pieces and parts of us as a humanity, us as an infrastructure, us as a lot of things. So I think one of the things that COVID-19 or the coronavirus is doing is, much like you said, is it going to crash the internet? It's really testing the infrastructure of ISPs. It's testing the infrastructure of a lot of companies in terms of having remote associates. There's this, obviously, everybody talks about like, well, we have in today's day and age, there's a lot of associates have the ability to work from home and do these things. That's great, but the majority of the staff in most companies do not, other than the ones that actually do the whole work from home full time, they don't do that. Like when you have somebody like Google that's coming out and saying all North American employees are to be working from home, period, end of story. There is no reason for you as a North American employee to go into a Google office. That is a lot of people, like tens of thousands of people, 50,000, I think it's like 50, maybe 80,000 plus associates that are now taxing effectively what could be a VPN for Google. So a VPN, which is the virtual private network, where you have to, if it's anything like the company that I'm a part of, is you have to use your credentials to gain access to very specific company-specific stuff. Okay, that taxes the infrastructure that a system or a company has put together. This is what I mean by testing the infrastructure. I think the ISPs are going to be fine. Like from the internet service provider's perspective, I'm not worried so much about them being taxed because there's a lot of things that are connected to the internet. So I'm less worried about them. What I'm more concerned about is the fact is, can companies' infrastructures handle the enormous swell of associates working remotely and then trying to get into their networks to do what would be their regular job? So I think the silver lining or the good, because again, this is impacting the health of humans. So again, carve that out, put it over to the side. The good thing about this particular thing is it's testing if you have the right infrastructure in place to have something, like if something like this were to happen, you would be able to handle and do business as usual or open operations for your company. This is testing the company's ability to do that and kind of overcome a crisis, so to speak. Like if something catastrophic happened and you could not gain access to the building to do your job, you still have the ability to do your job just at home, at the comfort of working remotely. So that's testing if you have the ability to do that. So if you don't have the ability to do that, your company's it's going to show, and then you're going to be able to take and make the necessary steps and get a roadmap in place to make sure that you are able to do that. God forbid something else like this were to occur. So you're testing what is already your kind of business continuity planning, see if it works. If it works, great. If there's bumps and bruises, you have the ability to overcome those things before it's like a massive, completely catastrophic failure. If you had a catastrophic failure during your business continuity planning, this is a situation that's going to raise it up. And then you have the ability to make the change and correct your course as usual. So I think it's a big piece that a lot of people are not necessarily talking about is you're testing the infrastructure of your company. Do you have the right plans in place for business continuity if you have to work not inside the building? Josh says, when sysadmins ruled the earth, it's a good story about what sysadmins keeping the internet infrastructure up while the virus takes out the world. Facebook's VPN got banned from DoorDash because so many people were trying to order food from home while connected to the corporate network. And see that, like that for me, like that is a thing that it's okay, we found that. Didn't think about that situation. Never thought that people would be like, oh, I'm just going to order DoorDash real quick. It was not malicious. Obviously, they're like, I need food. So they just happened to be able to go, oh, I'm going to need to fix that. I need to whitelist DoorDash to make sure that associates can order their food, or they could just pick up their phones and order the food via the DoorDash app. Again, ways to overcome that thing. But it's testing and showing somebody, oh crap, I need to think about this a little bit differently. So that's, Miss Sheila, thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's really kind of where you're going, is the idea that it's making you use your tech a little bit differently. Larry says, companies wouldn't ask you to work from home if they weren't reasonably sure that it would be successful. I agree with that. If they didn't think that they would be able to pull it off, I agree with you. I don't think that they would. But what I think they want to find is the Facebook DoorDash situation where it's oh crap, hopefully it's just as minor as it's been blocked from a VPN because it's DoorDash, but hopefully it's not oh crap, I can't do my regular job, which impacts a whole slew of customers. Hopefully it's not something bad like that. So I think that's a big piece that a lot of people I think are missing at times is you're really testing the infrastructure a lot when it comes to business continuity for your companies. Now, I also think it's testing the infrastructure of medical. It's testing the infrastructure of medical, emergency services, and things of that nature. Because, unfortunately, over in Italy, it's gotten really, really out of hand. And I've read some reports about people being in Italy. There's content creators that I follow on Twitter that they live in Italy, and they have talked about they are on complete and utter lockdown. They can't leave the country. They're basically said, hey, don't leave your apartment or your condo if you have no reason to do it. It's just an unnecessary risk. You need to be practicing the quote unquote social distancing. That's a thing that you should be doing. Excuse me real quick. So they're saying that you should be prepared for things of that nature, which would explain why people are running out and buying a whole bunch of things. I still don't understand the phenomenon of toilet paper though, which I will get to in just a moment. But so Italy's being completely locked down. The point out of all of this is I think it's testing the infrastructure of government and things of the nature to say, what are people planning to do in order to try to stop the spread of this particular virus? Because it is an airborne virus. In Ohio, we just recently had our first community-driven, person infected with the virus, meaning they were not someone who traveled. They came into contact with somebody who had traveled, and they contracted the virus. That's effectively what that means when it's community-driven like that. I know I'm probably butchering this all up, and if Stats were actually in the room, he would probably be slapping the Holy Spirit out of me. But the point is I'm 80-ish% correct, I think. Where was I going with this train wreck of thought? Oh, testing the emergency services infrastructure. Anytime during regular cold and flu season, that already stresses the medical area and medical services in a genuine area or a general area. Something like this is taxing it even more. So I think what you're seeing is the response to stuff like this is to make sure that they can respond with the proper amount of medical care that they have available, rather than like this huge mega spike and they just cannot control it at all, and it becomes completely all consuming and then just kind of peters out all the way towards the end. It's the idea is they spread this out, but they can manage all the way through, making sure everybody gets the proper amount of care. So you're testing the infrastructure from that perspective as well. Community spread. Yep. Thank you. Community spread. I knew I was close. 80%. Yeah, give or take. Another thing. So now I'm going to go flip it back on its head a little bit and talk about what else is this thing doing in terms of not just the medical. Again, the medical over here on the one side. What it's doing is actually testing this incredibly old way of thinking of you need to be in an office to be productive. Well, not only the traditional, you need to be in an office to be productive, but you need to be in the office for 40 hours in order to be productive. Look, I am of the mindset that if you feel as though you have to physically be in the office 40 hours just because that's what is necessary, not actually what it takes to do the job, but because that's what's necessary, that's a very old, archaic way of thinking. If you have 40 hours worth of work, that's different. But if you're only there for 40 hours because that's what they tell you, that's different. And a lot of people are not considering like a 40-hour, like the traditional 40-hour job or the 40-hour work week is really more than that when you consider the travel time. There are some people that I work for the company that I work with that drive 45 minutes one way, then work a full 8 to 9 hours, and then do 45 minutes back the other way. And I'm not a mathematician or anything like that, but you're approaching roughly a 10, 12-hour day just to get up, ready, drive to work, do the work thing, and then drive back home. So if I know that I have the ability to be as productive, if not more productive in some areas by staying home, I don't have to put in a 10 to 12 hour day. I can actually put in the traditional 8-hour day because I can just wake up, I can grab my coffee or a Red Bull or both when you're me, and be at my desk in 37 seconds, ready, booted up, ready to do my job. Now, is it a little bit slower because maybe I have to VPN and things of that nature? Maybe. I don't know that. Maybe if your infrastructure is really good, you're kind of at the mercy of your internet service provider in terms of the speed. But if I have to wait maybe 45 seconds of kind of like the downtime, 45 seconds seems a lot better than 90 minutes of travel one way and back. Like I feel like I can be much more productive. Like if I could hit the ground running, 7:45 in the morning, I'm drinking a Red Bull or a coffee or both if you're me, and I'm ready, answering emails, doing what my job is before 8 o'clock, and I can go all the way through the day until 4 or 5 o'clock. And so I've given effectively, 8 or 9 hours. I don't personally see the reason to physically be in the office. Now, I've heard this argument, and I haven't checked the comments right now, so I don't know if somebody's actually made the argument that I'm about to say, so apologies if I mock this. It's definitely not the way I want it to be. Well, when you're in the office, you have those happenstance situations where you run across somebody and you see him in the hallway and you strike up a quick conversation, and that quick conversation leads to some type of, successful conclusion that you guys were kind of butting your heads about or banging your head against a wall. Sure, that could very well be the case. It's kind of the traditional bumping into the water cooler type talk, I suppose. But I would challenge, if you're saying that your business hinges upon the fact that you have to just have happenstance water cooler conversations in order to successfully solve a problem, that's a problem in and of itself. If you are required to do something like that, that is a big problem to just have happenstance conversations to maybe solve a big problem. Maybe you should learn how to solve a problem better. I'm just going to throw that out there. The idea is like, I do believe being in the office is very beneficial. I am a very social person. I love being in the office because I love being around the people because I like people right now, which is really like bums me way out because I'm a hugger. Like I'm a big gregarious hugger. That's what I do. And I can't do that right now because social distancing. It's awkward. I give people like elbow bumps and I kind of give them like air fist bumps and maybe one of these or something of that nature. But the point is like I enjoy being in the office because I like being around people. But there are times where I need to get things done where being at home or somewhere in a studio like this where I can just put headphones on and be heads down and get it done, I can do that. Some of you are going to say, I would imagine, some would say, well, just put your headphones on when you're at work or in a cubicle. I don't have a cubicle. I thank you, Google, because of the way Google's done things, is open office environment for everybody. I don't have the luxury of going to a cubicle and getting the work done. I don't have an office. I work in an open office. I can hear phone calls. I hear people sneeze. I hear conversations. I hear all the things, which again, I'm not complaining about that. But the point is that there are times where you just kind of being cubbied away in some place is really beneficial in order to get things done. So I think this is challenging that whole way of thinking that you have to physically be in some type of building in order to be successful, in order to get work done. I think you're going to find people are much more productive by being able to work from home. Now, I can also hear at the same point of what I just said, somebody going, yeah, but what about those people who are just sitting watching Sports Center or watching a movie or watching and doing a thing and not working? That I would argue is exception. And if you are measuring yourself against the exception, that's not fair. The majority of people that I know for a fact, including myself, that work from home are more productive by being at home. As a matter of fact, they give the company more hours because they will work through lunch. They will get on the computer earlier and stay on the computer later. I will check my email much later in the evening if I have worked from home because I can get up, get a cup of coffee, maybe play with the kids or the dog. I can take a 5 or 10 minute break and then come back and be heads down and work. So I'm actually giving the company more time by having the ability to work remote. That's a whole lot of words that I just said. I'm going to go to the comments. Oh boy. Let's see. Flatten the curve. Yes, Larry, flatten the curve. That's what it is. I drive 30 minutes for my truck. The minimum 6 to 8 hours for work. It sucks. It's not great. Agreed. The 40-hour work week is over. It's going to that will cause a problem for traditional managers. 100% right. Weekly outcomes should be defined and agreed upon to meet the overall company goals objectives. Some weeks are more hours. Yes. Some weeks are more hours. Some weeks are less hours. 100% agreed with that. How many hours in a year for a 40-hour work week? 2,080. 2,080. That much I do know. There are some weeks where some of the weeks are very light. Could be holidays driven. Could be just a series of reasons. Who knows why? And that's okay. But there is going to be some weeks that it's just more hours. Thankfully, for the company that I work for, there are times when the hours are a little bit less, which is great. But what that does for me, now I'm speaking on the way that I am, what it does for me is it gives me the ability to go, when my boss asks me, hey man, I need you to give me maybe like another 4 to 5, maybe 8 hours this week. Because I know that some of those weeks are light and they very, very rarely ask me to do that thing, I'm much more okay with giving them the time, not like, oh my God, I can't believe they're going to ask me to do this. They're not, and I'm just going to straight up say it. They are not JP Morgan Chase. Straight up. I don't work for JP Morgan Chase. I don't. I'm going to leave my past in my past. JP Morgan Chase has a reputation. Straight up. They burn people. And yep, they're not that. I said what I said. Now I'm going to take a drink. I probably just blacklisted myself from somebody. Whatevs. What is... Oh, okay. I talked about trusting the old way of thinking. Here's the next thing. Now, I just gave companies a ton of credit for doing things. Now I'm going to really chastise some of these same companies, not the one I work for, that aside. And I'm going to pick on Apple really quick because I saw an advertisement. What? I saw a story that talked about how they were going to give all their retail associates unlimited amounts of sick time if they had flu or corona-like symptoms. Great. That's fantastic. Good on you. Love the idea. Why is it taking a pandemic for you to do that? Why is it taking you a pandemic for you to go, man, you know what? People who have a cold and flu, they should probably stay home. That's a great idea. We should probably give them sick time to do that. Yeah, that's a great idea. We should probably totally do that. Why are you just now doing it with a global pandemic? You should have been doing this with a cold and a flu. Maybe not the cold. I'll give you that. But if you work in an open office environment like myself, I don't want a cold. They're uncomfortable. I want to be able to sleep and breathe. That would be great. I like being able to sleep and breathe. I don't want to wake up and have like that cotton mouth where you've been breathing out of your mouth all night. I don't want that. If somebody comes in with a cold, stay over there. Go away from me. Better yet, work not from my space. Go work over there. So why are we just now taking the time as companies, again, not mine, why are we just now, Apple, why are you giving retail associates unlimited amounts of time because of cold and flu? What happens if they didn't have Corona? What happens if Corona didn't exist? What happens if they just had the flu? Are you going to require them to come in? That's what I don't understand about like, oh gosh, we're going to do something. Unlimited sick leave. Oh, it's a great idea. Wonderful. Why are you not doing that when it comes to the flu? I lost an aunt to the flu. The flu is very deadly, like extremely deadly. Millions, tens of millions of people die from the flu. The flu. Why are we not having the same conversation every year about we need to take care of society as a whole when it comes to things like this? Like, I guess I just don't understand that. That really bothers me. The idea is like, I took a global pandemic for somebody to go, that's a great idea. We should probably give them time off. Another thing that people aren't talking about, and this makes me go, ooh, is the fact that there are a lot of companies out there. Great example, food service. Food service is a notoriously low-paying arena, and that sucks because we all go out to eat. So there is probably people right now that have to work because they need the money, justified for sure, that have no choice but to work with either a sickness, hopefully not flu, but maybe cold, that's handling our food. Think about that. They have to, because they have to pay bills. They have to live. They have to do these things. So it's, I think another thing that can come out of this whole COVID-19 coronavirus is how should we be as a society when it comes to taking care of our own, mostly to keep everybody else safe. Yeah, it's crazy. Richard, I used to work from home fixing medical software remotely and could do more work because of no interruptions. I didn't have to commute anywhere. Loved it. Yeah, Miss Sheila, Apple only because it's cool, which sucks. And that's probably my biggest point. It's like, man, I don't know what we have to do like holistically. I have no idea. And I'm not going to try to make this some type of political conversation because I don't do politics on this channel. But I think is like, it just makes you start to go, we might have to do some things a little bit different than we have in the past because, I mean, a pandemic has broken out. You know, the World Health Organization has made coronavirus a pandemic, and it has incredibly far-reaching effects. So everything that I talked about, but how about the fact that it's made all of Google go home in North America. Now they've expanded that, and I believe Middle East, UK and things of that nature, that all those associates also are required to work from home. Almost every conference that I know of, the North American Broadcasting one, NAB 2020, gone. Google I/O, gone. Facebook Developer Conference, gone. South by Southwest, gone. That's just, and that's a long conference, all gone. And again, it's because they're practicing social distancing, which is not a bad thing. It's, again, the right thing to do. I just think it's such an interesting phenomenon that we're going through this now. And there's a lot of YouTubers, a ton of YouTubers that will come out and tell you, yeah, New York Auto Show is another one. Josh chimes in. I'm going to ask Josh because I just can't remember. There's always this, there's a convention in Vegas every single year in like January. It's, oh my God, why can't I remember it? I'm going to be so mad about myself. I'm going to be so angry. The fact that it's one in January or February. It's January. It's a huge conference. It's all about mobile and like tech and CES. Thank you. My God, I can't believe I couldn't remember that. Every YouTuber that I know talked about how, oh, you got the CES flu or the CES crud or the CES cold. That's a real thing. Like that is the thing that people talk about all the time is they got sick because people shake hands. People, are in a small space and a boatload of people. It's a real thing. And that's just the regular cold and flu. Could you imagine what CES would have been like with Corona? Oh, God. I know, YouTuber card revoked. Just moderate me out of the channel. That's what you need to do. Just throw me out. That's what I would do. That brings up another point that I'm just kind of all over the page today because I just kind of wanted to vent about the coronavirus. The idea is, wash your hands. For the love of God, wash your hands. It literally took a global pandemic for people to be like, 6 times kind of important. We should probably do that. Oh, we really should protect our retail employees and all the associates. We really should have the ability for people to work from home. For the love of God, just wash your hands. Wash them. Wash your hands. 20 seconds. Or, like on the last show, Josh can sing happy birthday to you twice. Happy birthday, 2 times through. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. I am notorious about touching my face. I'm going to just do it right here. I cannot stop. Like I like to stroke my beard. That's why I just do it. Like I know that I shouldn't. And I try to be good about it, but I'm terrible at it and it is what it is. So wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands. Antibacterial soap. Evidently go buy toilet paper. I still don't know what that is. Can somebody please tell me what the whole go buy toilet paper phenomenon is? I do not understand. You're not going to, I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, so all of those things, and this is just a shameless plug, phone soap. Phone soap is a wonderful electronic device, and I bet they are just flying off the shelves right now. I have a phone soap, and I have put every single one of my phones in the phone soap. It's like this little, I have it right over there, and I can't get up and show you, but it's a little bit bigger than the size of a phone. It's probably, oh, dang it. Hang on. It's probably a box that's about that big. You kind of set your phone down into it, and you close it up, and it takes 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, it actually does UV light that cleans your phone from a like they call it phone soap because everybody takes their phone in the pooper when you go poo. The outside of that, it's to clean off all the crud and microbiology type things. Oh, what am I talking about? On your phone that might make you sick because your phone's gross because bathrooms are disgusting. So it cleans your phone for that. Basically, it gets the poop off your phone. Let me just call it what it is. Every phone soap product's on back order until at least April 15th. That does not surprise me in the least. So if you are in the Columbus, Ohio area and you need to clean your phone, come to my house. I have put every single device that fits into it. The one I have is only for phones. They do make them for iPads though. Every single device that I have that fits into it has gone through it. UV light, my phone's going to be nice. Why am I just hearing about phone soap? Bro, I don't know why. Here's what I need to do. I'll bring phones when we go golf or whenever I go up and get Josh and Josh and I come up there. I will bring phone soap and I will clean all your devices. That sounds dirty. Hashtag, don't take me away. Hashtag all the things. So yeah, so there's been a run on phone soaps, evidently. There's been a run on the why can't I English tonight? Why can I not English? What's oh my God, why can't I think of the word? Like I'm over here just like just stroking out. I can't figure out what the word is. Like the clear stuff you put on your hands. Like somebody's going to put it in the comments. I'm just going to stop talking until somebody actually puts it in the comments. It's antibacterial stuff. Not soap, but the antibacterial gel. What? Oh my God. Hand sanitizer. For the love of God, why can't I remember that? Jeez. I'm over here just stroking out. Can't figure out the word hand sanitizer. Scott, device cleaner peachy. That's right. Hand sanitizer. I would be worried about me too. I can't think of the words. English. Look, English is a hard language. Sucks. I can't. Purell. Oh my God, I can't think of the words. I'm over here just stroking out. My headphones popping off. Yes, thank you. It's hand sanitizer. But you can also get soap and hand sanitizer. I don't even know where I was going with this. Oh, there's been a run on hand sanitizer Purell. There's been a run on like Clorox wipes. There's been a run on like the spray. Like, don't even ask me what I'm saying. Like the bleach Lysol spray. There's been a run on everything. There's been a run on toilet paper. I still don't get the toilet paper. Could somebody please tell me what the toilet paper thing is about? So Josh is gonna drive down and check on me and make sure I'm okay. You guys, I'm literally on camera right now. You can see that I'm okay. Hang on. I can actually go check. Yeah, I'm still good. I'm good. Yeah. Man, I'm a mess tonight. Wait. Nope, that's not the one. That's the one. Still a Hot Mess Express. It wouldn't be a live show unless it was one of these. Oh God. So I went on the coronavirus. I don't sound okay? Really? That's hurtful. I'm crying inside right now. I got like 16 minutes before the show's over, so I kind of want to talk about it. I'm not inspiring confidence. That's my bad. Let's talk about the OnePlus 8, and I'm going to inspire a lot of... I can't help it! I have to touch my face! See, I don't get it. Miss Sheila did a grocery run, goes out there, no toilet paper, all gone. I think people are genuinely concerned about them just S-ing themselves everywhere. Like, they're going to get coronavirus and it's just going to like just free flow. And they're going to have to just like stop things up with toilet paper. I'm getting extreme. I'm not okay, evidently. Whew. Ooh, wee. I'm sorry, my headphones are hurting me. I'm a mess. Let's talk about the OnePlus 8. The OnePlus 8 is going to be 5G. Pete, I think it's Pete Lau. I can never remember how to say his last name. Hopefully I'm saying it right. But the CEO of OnePlus has been putting out teasers about the OnePlus 8, and the OnePlus 8 is going to be 5G. I don't know with whom. The rumor on the street is with Verizon as well as T-Mobile, because they've already had a OnePlus device on T-Mobile. People went nuts buying Hatchimals just because they became a thing. Okay, that's fair. So maybe that's the run on toilet paper. Anyway, back to the OnePlus 8. So the OnePlus 8 is going to be 5G. The rumor on the street is going to be Verizon, which is fine. I mean, Verizon has really, really good 5G. AT&T's 5G is meh. It's got the fake 5G that I still have on my Pixel. I'm sure they have the real 5G right now, but I don't have that. Also, T-Mobile will probably have it as well. They did tease a little bit about one side. This is the last thing that I saw was they specifically talked about how the OnePlus, the thing that they're known for is that on the side button where you can turn it from volume on, volume silent, and vibrate, which I hated in the beginning, but then I really loved it in the end, is going to be on the OnePlus 8. I read an article today. Yeah, Josh, 5G. That's what they say. I read an article today that specifically said that OnePlus, in order to really, really challenge Google, Apple, and Samsung, and I agreed with this article because the OnePlus is a fantastic device. If you saw my video that I put out last weekend, it was specifically about how the OnePlus 7T is a fantastic, my second favorite Android device, and it was really pushing the Pixel right there to be like the main SIM in my pocket. It's a wonderful device. The thing that was lacking, and it's the number one thing for me, so they were already at a disadvantage because of this, was the camera. It does have the ability to do 4K at 60 frames a second, which is just like Apple's. It's not as good, not even remotely close to Apple's, because Apple's is just that much better than everybody's. But the photos, like a portrait mode, was okay. All the other photos were okay. The ultra wide was okay. I mean, it wouldn't rank above a Pixel or an iPhone for me. And kind of like that I mentioned in the video that, if I didn't have either one of those devices, the OnePlus would, far and away be the device that I would pick because of the price point. Like that OnePlus 7T is $499 now. Like that is a awesome price for a really, really strong phone. She's strong. Is the idea that you can, for less than $500, you can put a 8 gig, 128 gigabyte storage, 8 gig of RAM phone in your pocket that has a beautiful display, takes pretty decent pictures as well. If you didn't have the other two, it's a hands down no brainer. That's the one that I would pick. So we all need 64 megapixel cameras. That will be the new thing. Yeah, I think the 108 megapixel from Samsung, I'll just say it. I don't think they're using the 108 megapixels the right way. Without getting really, really weird. Like if you had smaller megapixels but used them better, yeah, I'm going to stop there. That could get out of hand pretty quick. Anyway, I think that what Apple and Google has shown is the idea that you don't have to have a 100x zoom, which is worthless. If you have a really good 10x or 30x zoom and you just market it as a really good 10x or 30x zoom, it's really, really good. I think 100 is a little bit of meh, meh. I personally do not see the need for something like that. I absolutely see the need for something like a 10x or a 30x for sure. And I've seen what a 10x Samsung picture looks like, and it looks great. And I wish they would have marketed that, not the I can see to the moon 100x. I really think they missed out and kind of swung and missed on the opportunity, because as a parent, if I have the ability to zoom either 10 or 30x and get a really good crispy photo, which the Samsung Ultra has the ability to do, that's what I think that was really like the marketing sweet spot that they could have gone with. I think the 100x is just really gimmicky. It's too fuzzy. It's not great, but they really missed out on an opportunity to get a lot of the population, because I can't tell you how many times I have seen people like grandparents and parents at kids like auditorium shows or like little show and tells or whatever. They'll hold their phone up like this and they'll ultimately go like this to zoom in. And a really good 10x or a really good 30x, if you zoom in like that, would look incredible. Would look great, and that would sell tremendously. But I can see the spots on the moon. And I know that I'm not a popular. I don't think that's a popular opinion. Like or maybe it is a popular opinion. I don't know. I think the Samsung S20 Plus has a better camera than the Ultra. I said what I said. But I think OnePlus, in order to get it right for the OnePlus 8, that they have to take a huge step forward on the OnePlus 8 for sure. Let's talk about the Google Pixel 4a. Now, the Google Pixel 4a has talked about the rumored price point of the 4a. So it's officially leak season. Evan Blass has found some type of random billboard mock-up that talks about the 4a starting price. Let's talk about how it's equipped. According to what XDA developers reported last month, it's going to be a Snapdragon 730 processor with 6 gigs of RAM. Also, that one's saying that it could be 4 gigs of RAM instead. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's probably going to be closer to the 6. Both models would include 64 gigs of storage, which is I don't like 64 gigs of storage. For me, it doesn't work. Maybe it's going to be great for somebody. I'm not entirely sure. That's not my thing, personally. They say at least one model has a 5.8-inch display that's 2340 by 1080 resolution. Will feature a 3.5 millimeter jack, rear-mounted fingerprint sensor for those folks that really, really want the fingerprint sensor in the back, a hole punch selfie camera, and a square camera module on the back. So, I mean, if you go out there and just basically look at a Pixel 4a leak, you're going to find some of the images that they have out there. Now, the starting price point, $399. That is the exact same price as the 3A last year, which, if that's the case, is really, really awesome. That is a great price point to be at. It separates itself between what the 4XL and the 4 was, and then the 4A. I think that really gives them, again, another foot in the door when it comes to mid-range pricing. I really like it. Probably the biggest competitor, obviously, is going to be the budget iPhone. I don't remember what the budget iPhone is off the top of my head. I'm going to go to Apple right now to check because I can't remember. Sorry for the loud typing because I have a MacBook and that sucks. The keyboard is the worst. That's not a Mac. I want an iPhone. I think I want to say it's $499. I feel like it's $499. I feel like I'm going to say $499. The iPhone XR, that's $599. So that's an XR. If I go to an iPhone X, so I have an iPhone 10. No, that's not it. iPhone XS? No, maybe. I don't know. I feel like $499 is probably what I'm going to say. Somebody can probably correct me in the comments. I'm going to go to the comments to check. The iPhone SE2 was supposed to be launched in March. Oh, I get it. So Tech King Mike. So Saturday Night Tech Fights. That guy is that's the guy I keep talking about. Tech King Mike. That is the king right there himself. Tech King Mike. The S20 Plus is the sweet spot coming from an Ultra owner. And I'll be honest. That's your opinion is the one I actually really wanted to talk about because I knew that you had it. The images that I see out of the S20 Plus are incredible, just incredible. Anyway, but yes. iPhone 11, iPhone XR. I think again, $499, $599. If it's $599, then Google comes in at $399. That is much like Miss Sheila just said. That is a price point that brings in a whole new crowd. That would be like from a budget perspective. The 3A and the 3A XL was every single time a recommendation that I made. A good friend of mine was over in the Ukraine just a little bit ago. He had a colleague over there specifically was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting the 3A, 3A XL." He goes, "I'm just going to watch your videos." I was like, "Let me just stop you right there. Just go out and buy it because it's just that good of a device, especially if you're coming over from like a regular Android device. You get all the great crispy pictures that you get. I still have a 3A XL. It's awesome. I love it. I have no trouble with it at all. It's just something that I think is just a really good price point to be in. But the 4A, I think what the 4A is doing, you're seeing something that I think Google might take, and this is just my personal opinion, and if I get this right, I'm going to call back to the show, is if you're seeing a hole punch design now, so are you telling me that there's the potential for a hole punch design in the Google Pixel 5 or the 5XL? What does that mean? Because Google's notorious for either having a really big chin, a really big forehead, or a really big notch. The 3A XL was troubled by the bathtub notch, even though I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And then in the 4XL has a fairly large forehead, but again, it doesn't bother me. But if they're going to go to a hole punch design in the 4A, does that mean that the Pixel 5 is also going to potentially have a hole punch design? If so, what does the rest of the screen look like? And the reason why I'm interested in that is because Project Soli, which is the thing that's in the 4A XL when you wave your hand over it and it makes you change songs or stop things. I mean, that requires to be seen. Are you telling me that maybe that's under the glass? Is that a radical redesign? What all does that mean if you did something like that? Or maybe because it's not Project Soli and you don't wave your hand over it, they can get away with having that hole punch design. Because if you look at the Pixel 4, the Pixel 4a like renders that you see, and if you look at a regular picture of a 4a or 4a XL, the hole punch is on the front left, which is exactly where the hole punch is on the 4a XL or 4XL. It's in my hand right now. So I don't know, maybe because there's no Project Soli, they can get more glass. I'm not entirely sure. I'm really interested to see like what's the difference between the 4a and then the 5. Are they maybe showcasing what the 5 might look like a little bit, and from a front display perspective because of that. I mean, who knows? That's a thing. All right, I'm going to check the comments one last time, then I'm going to wrap up the show. Normally, I would kick back to Stats and say, Stats, hit him with your socials. And he'd say something like, blah, 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 blah. And then I would say, like, oh, okay, cool. Anyone who wanted to try iOS but has been a long time Android user, this does it. Yep. A whole new crowd at a $3.99 price point. So, okay. Well, let me know what you guys think of the new live show setup. This is the Streamlabs. I'm actually a beta tester for Streamlabs when it comes to the Mac version of this. If you've used Streamlabs on a Windows machine, this looks very similar to this. I really, really love the way that this looks. I love some of these little additional things that I put up here. I'm going to try to change with it. Sorry, I couldn't figure out what the website content wasn't working. It probably has something to do with me just trashing and thrashing this MacBook with all the CPU right now. I have on average like 50% of the CPU. So yeah. Josh is good. He goes, it's good, but last week you had an excellent co-host. This, yeah, absolutely agree. And Mike, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think it looks really good. This is what the setup's going to be. Mike, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it. I need that rematch with Ben. If Adrian's not going to let me be the tag team partner, I feel like I'll go toe to toe with Preston. I don't mind. I mean, I'm ready, bro. I'm ready to fight. Let's do this. I'm ready to fight. Can you make the chat window not overlap the video window? Only suggestion I could see. Yeah, I don't know if I really feel like I like the chat window that's right there. I do like the number of concurrent people watching at the same time. I do really like that aspect of things. I don't know how I feel about the chat. So yeah, I'm gonna mess with a few other things. There's some new widgets that I want to try that I don't know how I feel about it. But like me in a smaller window, and kind of like the picture is actually a picture that I took on, ironically enough, a Pixel 4 XL. That is a picture of Columbus, Ohio, down by the river. That's a me picture. That's a picture that I took and went out one night. It's awesome. I love it. Yeah, so I'm going to keep messing with it. I'm glad you guys like it. My socials, you've probably seen them at the bottom on the tweet machine. It's at Scott Peachy, fuzzy fruit with an EY on the end. And on Instagram, it's at the Scott Peachy. I go by a new Twitter name now. This is the shout out to Josh and Kev the Tech Ninja on Twitter. I go by Scott, a.k.a. Big Papa Peachy on Twitter. I was a big Papa Pump fan when it came to wrestling, even though he went to Michigan. Boo. But Scott Steiner, yeah, that's what it was. Chat's stock ticker on the bottom. That's a really good idea. I'm going to look into that. All right, y'all. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming to the show. As always, like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, comment, yada, yada, yada. And I will see you next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, look out, because it's going to be, rumor on the street, as long as everything works for it, is going to be Dan from Down Under, from Australia. I am going to have a guest that is from Australia. Oh, I'm very excited about it. We're going to have a lot of guests on the show as well, so it's going to be, whoa, I just put my seat down. Evidently, my show's over. Oh, okay, cool. All right, y'all. We'll see you next time.